Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that you may have heard of if you've been roaming on the YouTube sphere or even maybe on Twitter, but there's a new movie coming out called Karen. And the trailer has come out and I wanted to react to it because I think it's just so poorly executed. Let's just put it that way. And granted, I just want to preface, just because a trailer sucks, it doesn't mean the movie sucks. Though in this case, the concept I think is very flawed. So I haven't seen the movie because it's not out yet, but we are going to talk about the trailer. Anyway, before we do that, I did want to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of awesome classes for people of all skill levels to explore or deepen existing passions. Members get unlimited to thousands of inspiring classes with hands-on projects and feedback from a community of millions. Skillshare is made for learning, there are no ads, and they're constantly launching new premium classes so you can invest time in your creative endeavors. They offer classes in a wide variety from graphic design, film and video and photography, to business analytics to marketing. I've been taking a class by Thomas Frank titled Productivity for Creatives, Build a System that Brings Out Your Best. This class has been particularly significant to me as being home a lot can really stifle my creativity. This class helps to put into perspective what I struggle with and what I can do to improve my creative habits. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, one quick thing I wanted to say before we talk about and watch the trailer together is obviously, as you can see, I am commenting on this as a white person. We will be touching on issues of race because basically you'll see the Karen is racist, which is not a shocker, but I would strongly also suggest going to see, for example, D'Angelo Wallace's video on this because obviously his perspective is going to be different than mine and I'm commenting simply as a white viewer of it, so I can't speak for Black people, their experience, anything of the sort.
Guess this is a long way from East Point.
Baby, you just gotta give it a chance.
Tell me about your new neighbors.
They're Black. Do you mind keeping it down? If you don't comply, I'll tell the manager.
Frankly, I think that any movie that exists based on a meme is already an issue. Now, Karen, I know, goes beyond memes because people, especially white women, have been called Karens when they call the police on Black people for stupid shit that is either irrelevant or that Black people haven't done. And when I say irrelevant, I mean things that are not illegal. This movie has to be serious in tackling those issues or else it will come off as a mockery, in my opinion. The term Karen is complicated because in one way it's very racially charged, like I gave you the example of, but in another way it's also been used as a meme for basically customers that are the worst, like always asking for the manager, for example. That was, I think, one of the first memes that was related to the name Karen. It does come off, in my opinion, so far in this trailer as somewhat of a mockery because this character, played by Taryn Manning, goes to a table at a restaurant and tells them to keep it down or else she'll tell the manager. It's just very much in your face. Already the fact that they named it Karen, in my opinion, was a mistake because if you really want to make a film that is a social commentary on society today, society in terms of how Black people are treated, society in terms of how certain white people act, like the Karens, calling it Karen immediately just, I don't think that was a good decision. I don't think people will take it seriously because Karen, like I said, is used as a meme and as pretty much a joke. And aside from that, it's like if you really want to talk about this subject, which is a heavy subject to talk about, you'd think that there would be more depth than the easy and cheap, oh, she's such a Karen, she's asking for the manager type jokes. I don't know, that immediately turned me off because it seems extremely superficial as opposed to the actual issues that are out there, especially because this is marketed as a horror movie and what happens in real life is horrific, but what's being shown here almost seems like it's turning it into a parody.
Somebody's taking home security serious.
Hi, I am Karen Drexler. I'm your neighbor. You need to be taking your trash cans off the curb right when the trash is picked up.
Is she nice?
Yeah, she's nice.
Wait a minute, we have a white entitled neighbor named Karen?
Karen. Okay, enjoy yourself.
There she is, slaving away in the kitchen. I've come across some very suspecting teenagers.
Suspecting?
Can you please hurry up? Please, they're very aggressive, yep.
I left my wallet with my ID at home. Leave us alone, we didn't do anything!
How the heck did you end up moving to this neighborhood?
So, of course, there are racists that are this blatant in their racism, but I find that all of this feels very, very forced. The way it's just treated, to me, looks like they're making a mockery and undermining the real problems that Black people are facing. Now, that could be just the bad acting of the main character. Overall, it just feels like this movie is a ripoff of Get Out, but the thing is, like, and D'Angelo Wallace mentioned this in his video, and that's actually the first thing I thought when I saw this, which is ironic because when I saw this trailer, it wasn't even by choice. I was watching a movie that had ads in it, and this was one of the ads. And I remember thinking the first thing is like, this is trying so hard to be Jordan Peele, but it's not, because Jordan Peele gives you things to think about. Jordan Peele is more nuanced, and Jordan Peele has a very clear and concise message he's sending. The message that's trying to be sent here, I don't think they maliciously meant to do that. Like, I don't think BET maliciously made this movie thinking it was going to be like a parody, but I do think that a lot of this is just too on the nose to the point where there's really, like I said before, no depth. It doesn't give you anything to think about aside from how ridiculous all of this is. From her name being Karen in the first place, it all feels very superficial and not going to the crux of the issues. And I'm not saying every single movie has to delve into the issues, but if you're gonna make a movie like this, knowing full well what's been happening in multiple countries, but especially the US, the past year, and in history overall, I just don't understand what they thought they were doing here.
Next thing you know, we have criminals. You take care of him, and I will take care of her.
Would you mind stepping out of the car?
My office has uncovered some disturbing information on her and her brother.
She doesn't like Black people.
We have a search warrant.
Well, I'm Black.
I know, she doesn't like you either.
I want to sell the house.
What I do? You can't tell me, huh?
We are living next door to a racist.
This particular part is also interesting because we find out that her brother is a police officer, which adds an extra layer because obviously, especially in the last year, with everything that's been going on with BLM and the police, having a police officer be part of the plot adds that extra layer. But the thing is, I feel like they're adding all these layers that they're just gonna quickly mention but not explore. Like, oh yeah, so main character's a racist, she has a Confederate flag in her house on her fucking soap thing, whatever. And her brother is also a police officer who is clearly a fraud. Like, he's not doing his job properly. He's obviously biased, and he's probably also racist, considering. I just don't know why they're throwing in all these elements that need discussion and have a lot of discussion around it on social media, in the world generally, in articles, whatever. But here they're just kind of like, oh, here's racism, here's problems with the police, but you're not going into any of it. So you're just throwing out problems and not really bringing an analysis. Now, obviously, like I said, haven't seen the movie, but I'm just saying, based on what the trailer is portraying, it looks very, very, like I said before, superficial.
Went in her house.
You wouldn't want your wife to know our little secret, right?
That was not standard police procedure back there.
What do we have here?
When you got a hammer, everything looks like nails.
You people are very angry.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Bad things happen to people that don't comply.
Overall, generally speaking, this film looks like it's a shit show, and I don't really know what the writers were thinking when they came up with this because, like I said, it's superficial, it's not going into the issues. It's also, like I said, marketed as a horror movie, but if it's gonna be a horror movie, at least show the true problems that people are dealing with and have some kind of commentary on it. But here it just seems like they're throwing out the problems and they have a psycho racist neighbor, but we're not talking about what Black people face on a daily. And this just seems to kind of undermine everything. Now, obviously, like I said, I'll link D'Angelo Wallace's video down below so you can see his take on it. I personally don't think this movie is making any points as of the trailer. I don't think it's going to be successful because the movie itself is already coming off as a meme, and the name of the movie is also a meme. So I truly don't know what possessed them to do this. I honestly hope the movie is better than what the trailer is letting on. I hope that it's more in-depth, or at least has something that is worth conversing over, because as of now, I feel like if I watched the movie, I could tell people, yeah, it's shitty and it's superficial. End of conversation. Whereas with movies like Get Out, and this is a point that D'Angelo Wallace made, there are a lot of themes to be discussed. And here it just doesn't seem like it. Obviously, when the movie comes out, we'll all know if we subject ourselves to watching it. You guys can let me know what you think down below based on this trailer. Do you think this movie is kind of a mockery and undermining Black struggles? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons, as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.